Good morning students. Welcome to my channel Chemistry Made Easy. Well, myself Dr. Rajeshwari HV, working as an assistant professor in chemistry JSS College, Gokak. In the previous video, I had explained the potentiometric redox titrations. Now let us understand acid-base titrations which is carried out potentiometrically. The potentiometer is invented by the scientist Christian Poggentroff in 1841. This is the K model, the first model of potentiometer, which is used in most of the colleges and universities for the electrical measurements in the 20th century in Denison University, UK. Now presently we have the digital model. It's very easy to handle. Dip the electrodes in the unknown solution. The potential developed at the electrode is displayed in the form of digital reading. Even the acid-base titrations also carried out using potentiometer. So we have two types of acid-base titration, strong acid versus strong base, that is HCl versus sodium hydroxide is an example. Then weak acid versus strong base, we can titrate acetic acid, formic acid or orthophosphoric acid. Any weak acid can be titrated using sodium hydroxide. Now let us understand the titration of weak acid versus strong base. This is the experimental setup. In the microburette, we have to take exactly 0.1 normal sodium hydroxide solution, and in 100 ml beaker, take approximately 0.1 normal acetic acid 10 ml, then add a pinch of quinhydron, which is an organic compound. After adding quinhydron, you have to stir the solution for 2 to 3 minutes till the solution is saturated with the quinhydron. Dip the platinum electrode, which is a working electrode, acts like cathode. Then dip a calomel electrode, that is a reference electrode which acts like anode. Connect both the electrodes to the potentiometer where we measure the EMF in terms of volts or millivolts. As I told previously, the potentiometric titration is carried out in two steps. The first step is rough titration and the second step is fine titration. When we measure the EMF after the addition of sodium hydroxide to acid in an equal amounts, we have to measure the EMF. Initially the EMF is positive, it keeps on decreasing and it comes to negative value also, because as we titrate with sodium hydroxide, there is decrease in concentration of H plus ions. At some point there is jump in the potential, and in this range we have to carry out the fine titration. We get a peak and extrapolate this peak to x-axis, and this will give, using the equivalence point, that is volume of sodium hydroxide, we can find out the concentration of acetic acid. This is the cell representation of quinhydron electrode. This is the representation of quinhydron electrode, that is H plus bar Q. Q stands for quinone and QH2 stands for quinhydron and platinum metal. So what is the role of platinum metal here? The platinum is basically an inert metal. So it gives the surface for the establishment of the potential. That means it acts like a postman. So it will accept the electron and gives the electron. When the acid-base titration is carried out, adding quinhydron is essential. So then let us understand what is the role of quinhydron and why we have to add quinhydron for acid-base titrations. Quinhydron basically acts like a reduction electrode. So quinone in acid medium accepts 2 electrons and converted into quinhydron. Quinone is represented using the symbol Q and quinhydron is represented using the symbol QH2. And this question is important in the examination. How to set up the quinhydron electrode? As I told previously, so we have to take unknown concentration solution in a beaker, then add a pinch of quinhydron, stir it for 2 to 3 minutes till the solution becomes pale yellow, dip the platinum electrode, and this is how the quinhydron electrode is set up. So the role of quinhydron is, by adding quinhydron, it gives the reversible system immediately. Now we can write a Nernst equation for the quinhydron electrode, that is E subscript Q is equal to E naught, that is standard reduction potential of quin hydrogen electrode, minus 0.0591 divided by 2, because the number of electrons getting transferred is 2 here, log of QH2 concentration, that is quin hydrogen concentration, divided by quinone concentration and H plus concentration whole square. So we have 2H plus here. Quinone is accepting 2 electrons. Since we know that log A into B is log A plus B, so we can write the expression as EQ is equal to E naught minus 0.0591 divided by 2 log of QH2 concentration divided by Q concentration plus log of 0.0591 divided by 2 log of 1 by H plus concentration whole square. And the first term in the equation is equated to 0, because at half equivalence point, concentration of QH2 is exactly equal to Q. And this, therefore, log 1, since QH2 will become equal to Q, it becomes log 1 is 0, then the whole term is equated to 0. Then we have the expression E subscript Q is equal to E naught minus 0.0591 divided by 2 log of 1 over H plus whole square. And if you bring the H plus square to the numerator, a minus sign is converted to plus sign here. Then you write EQ is equal to E naught plus 0.0591 divided by 2 log H plus concentration, and 2 and 2 will get cancels with each other. Now since pH is equal to minus log H plus, so we have log of H plus in the expression. So log of H plus is written as minus pH. Then we have the final expression EQ is equal to E naught minus 0.0591 pH. Now rearrange the expression. So pH is equal to E naught minus EQ divided by 0.0591, where E naught is the standard reduction potential of quin hydrogen electrode. It is nothing but 0.456 minus E observed. In place of EQ we have written E observed divided by 0.0591. This is one of the important application of quin hydrogen electrode. So using quin hydrogen electrode we can find the pH of the solution. Now let us understand how to find out E observed. So this is determined through the graph, that is at half equivalent point. In the second graph, that is fine titration, if the end point is 12, so half this volume, that is equal to 6, and move to the rough titration exactly at 6 ml, extrapolate this curve, extrapolate this line up to this curve, and the point where it touches the curve you have to extrapolate to y-axis, and this point will give E observed. Then substitute the value of E observed in the expression, will get pH, and this is nothing but the point at potential measured at half equivalent point. Using quin hydrogen electrode we can also find the dissociation constant of weak acid. Let us understand how to find out the dissociation constant of weak acid potentiometrically. So this is the titration of weak acid versus strong base. Acetic acid reacts with sodium hydroxide to give sodium acetate and water. Now initially in the titration, that is before the addition of sodium hydroxide, we have only H plus acetic acid here. After adding sodium hydroxide, so there is a formation of sodium acetate salt. Now in the solution we have both acetic acid and sodium acetate. The combination of sodium acetate and acetic acid is known as acidic buffer. So what is a buffer? A buffer is a solution which can resist the change in pH of the solution. There is the generation of acidic buffer in situ within the solution. Let us understand the buffer action. Acetic acid, the combination of, as I told previously, that is acetic acid and sodium acetate, is an acidic buffer. And among that, acetic acid is a weak acid, ionizes partially in the solution to acetate and H plus ions. That's why I have written equilibrium sign here. there is an equilibrium between acetic acid, undissociated molecule of acetic acid, and acetate and H plus ions. And sodium acetate, being strong electrolyte, dissociates completely to acetate and Na plus ion. So what happens to the concentration of acetate? It increases. Definitely the equilibrium here is disturbed. So according to Le-Chatelet's principle, if the equilibrium is disturbed, the equilibrium shifts in such a way that to nullify the constraint. So to nullify the constraint, that is the concentration of acetate is increased here, to nullify this constraint, equilibrium shifts towards the left hand side. That is, dissociation of acetic acid is suppressed here. This is also known as common ion effect. That is, the suppression of degree of dissociation of weak electrolyte by the addition of strong electrolyte. So if you add sodium acetate to acetic acid is a weak acid, and sodium acetate being a strong electrolyte, it suppresses or decreases the dissociation of the weak electrolyte acetic acid. Now this buffer action is also explained by the Henderson-Hasselbalch equation, that is pH is equal to pK plus log of salt concentration divided by acid. Now I'll explain what is half equivalent point here. So initially the acid concentration is 100% before the addition of base, and salt is 0. There is no formation of sodium acetate. When the salt is 10%, acid concentration is 90. When the salt is 20, acid concentration is 80. When the salt is 30, then the acid concentration is 70. Then salt is 40, acid is 60. When salt is 50, then acid concentration is 50. That means the concentration of acid is equal to base. And this point is known as half equivalent point. When concentration of salt is equal to acid, the log term will become 1. So log 1 is equal to 0 and pH will become equal to pKa. Since at half equivalent point, salt concentration is exactly equal to acid, pH will become equal to pKa. Now we know the value of pH from the previous expression, that is pH is equal to 0.456 minus E observed divided by 0.0591. Then pKa is nothing but minus log Ka. So Ka, rearrange the expression, Ka is equal to minus antilog pKa. So if you substitute the value of pKa, because pH is equal to pKa, then solve it, take the antilog of that, we can find out the dissociation constant of any weak acid. So this is the literature value of the dissociation constant of weak acid. This is how we determine the dissociation constant of a weak acid. Come to the examination corner. These are the possible questions that is asked in the examination. First one, mention the role of quinhydrone in acid-base potentiometric titrations. Second one, how to set up quinhydrone electrode. Then third question, how is quinhydrone electrode used in the determination of pH, which is a very important question. What is half equivalent point? 2 marks question. Describe acid-base titration with an example. How to carry out potentiometrically? 5 marks question. Thank you.